Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here, the lab coat's on back order, and it's time for this week's Pokemon team building video for the rotation battles in Omega Ruby. So, as I've been doing, I'm choosing one of the Pokemon in my collection to become the Mega Evolution for the week and building the team around them. But last week I actually did have a request from a viewer. They want to see Mega Charizard this week. Now, they didn't actually say Mega Charizard X, Mega Charizard Y. I think I did that backwards. But, since they didn't specify what I'm actually going to do, and I had this idea already in mind, one week I am going to bring one of the Mega Evolutions. A following week I will bring my Charizard Blaze as the other Mega Evolution. Now this week, since he is more geared towards special based attacks, he's going to be Mega Charizard Y, but in the future we're going to try for the first time, going to make him Mega Charizard X. Anyway, that's for another time. Right now we're going to look at the Mega Charizard Y team of Blaze and the team I built around him, so let's begin. So yes, captaining the team this week is Blaze the Charizard. He's a quirky Pokemon, which is actually a neutral nature, so nothing is boosted or lost due to that. And the standard ability that a Charizard would have is Blaze, so if he goes low HP, it's going to power up the power of his Fire-type moves. But of course, once he does Mega Evolve into Mega Charizard Y, thanks to that Charizardite Y he's holding, the ability turns into Drought, which is basically like Sunny Day. It brings the sun out for 5 turns, which also improves the power of Fire-type moves. I am not relying on this at all, however, because I imagine we're going to see some Primal Reversions or a Mega Rayquaza this week. If we do see either of these Pokemon, their more enhanced weather condition is going to override our, measly little Drought. So we can't rely on the sun being up for basically any length of time. So, for the moveset, we do have Flamethrower, which is a good stab move, quite powerful. I've taught him Air Slash this week. Now, usually he runs Solar Beam, but again, I can't rely on the sun remaining up for the battle. Usually it's a Drought Solar Beam combo that I go for, or a Sunny Day Solar Beam combo, and neither of those I can rely on. So I just decided to go for another stab move. Air Slash is good and can cause a flinch if we're lucky. Now, he also still has Mud Slap from a previous generation. I didn't mention it before, I don't think, but in order for him to learn Mud Slap, I went through one of the Battle Frontiers, and I think it was in Heart Gold, and he actually single-handedly took down a Rhyperior in order to learn Mud Slap, so it's kind of a special move for him. It's not particularly powerful, but it will be super effective against any Primal Groudon that might show up, and anything else except the Flying type, we will be able to lower the accuracy by 1 stage, which might come in handy in a pinch. The final move, I decided to go with Dragon Pulse, because I imagine we might see Rayquaza on the battlefield, possible Mega Rayquaza. If I do have Dragon Pulse and fire that off, it is going to be super effective, because of course the Delta Stream does not weaken Dragon-type weaknesses, only Flying-type. For the moveset, the Super Training, we did max out the speed, we put a good amount into special attack, and the defense I put a little bit into as well, just to make him a little bit more protected on that side. So the first Pokemon joining Blaze this week on the battlefield will be Whiskers the Persian. She is also a quirky Pokemon, so again, like Blaze, no stats are going to be boosted or lost due to that. And her ability, Limber, says she is immune to being paralyzed. Not that I expect too many Thunder Waves to be coming our way this week, but you never know. If I do predict that might happen, I can rotate her in. And she's holding the Assault Vest, which is actually, I think, the first time I'm using Assault Vest on the channel. This is something that boosts the special defense of the holder by 50%, I think, but at the cost of preventing them from using any status-type moves. So things like, well, she used to have Taunt, for example. She can't use that while holding the Assault Vest. So I went with just basically offensive moves, because that's all you can use with Assault Vest. She does still have Payday, of course. Ignore that. We're not going to be using that. But for coverage, I did teach her Player Off, Shadow Claw, and U-Turn. Now, U-Turn is there mostly because we didn't have a bug move this week, and you never know, we might encounter some Psychic types. Shadow Claw, also good for Psychic types, and a little bit other coverage as well. Player Off could deal some good damage to the Mega Rayquaza if we do see it on the battlefield this week. For her Super Training, she's maxed out in speed, maxed out in attack, a little bit into defense. So the special defense, there's no investment, but again, the Assault Vest will provide that special defense boost. The next Pokemon on the team this week is going to be Guar the Primate. He is a Jolly Pokemon, which is actually a really good nature for a fighting type to have. It increases the speed stat while lowering special attack, so that's definitely not bad for a physical attacking Primate. His Vital Spirit ability says he will not fall asleep if they go for a sleep move, so if we see any Darkrai on the field, I can rotate him in. He's going to be immune to the Dark Void. He's holding Citrus Berry, because we are going to be losing some HP from one of his own moves, as you'll see. Starting with, we have Focus Punch. Originally, his strategy was a substitute Focus Punch combo. He does still have that, and that is why he's holding Citrus Berry. So if we can manage to rotate in and get a substitute up, then he's going to be free to launch a focus punch on the next turn, unless they have a sound-based move that will go past the substitute. But we'll see how that plays out. Now, for a little bit more coverage, in case we do see any fairy types perhaps, we do have Poison Jab on there this week. And for speed control, I did teach him Rock Tomb. It's going to slow down the target whenever he hits. Rock Tomb can hit anything, I'm pretty sure. There's no rock immunities in the game. So, regardless of what comes up, we can throw a Rock Tomb at it, lowering the speed. Possibly one of my slower Pokemon can now outspeed on the following turn. For his super training, we went ahead and maxed out the speed, maxed out the attack, dropped a tiny little bit into the HP just to try to get those substitutes a little more healthy, so they're not going to break quite as easily. The next Pokemon on the team is going to be another fighting type. We have Machamp. Machamp is an adamant Pokemon, which is actually an even better nature. Well, depending, I suppose. It's also a good nature for a fighting type. It actually boosts the attack stat while lowering special attack. And a Machamp, you're not really ever going to see them using any special attacks, so adamant is a great nature. His ability is Guts, so if he gets hit by a status condition, it's going to boost the attack stat even higher, and he's holding Muscle Band to boost the power of his physical moves even more. So those moves start with Low Sweep. Usually I have him running Brick Break to deal with any reflects or light screens, but we don't usually see a lot of those in these rotation battles, and speed control is a really important thing. So Low Sweep is a fighting type move. It's almost as powerful as Brick Break, and it will lower the speed stat of the target by 1 stage. Ice Punch is going to be good for any Mega Rayquaza we might find. Also just good coverage for other flying types, maybe some grass types, things like that. Knockoff might be useful. I don't think it's going to be super useful if we do see a bunch of primals and stuff, because of course you can't knock off the Mega Evolution items. But anything else we can try to get the items off of. Now, for whatever reason, I don't understand why, Machamp can learn Light Screen. It's a psychic type move. Machamp doesn't appear to be psychic-ish in any way, but regardless, we replaced Wide Guard this week for Light Screen because that's going to be a lot more beneficial for the team, boosting our special defense by 50% for 5 turns. For his super training, we maxed out the attack stat, getting up to a massive 367 at level 100, and we put the remainder of the training into the 2 defenses, getting them both a little over 200 each. The 5th Pokemon this week is going to be Skippy the Swampert. Now, of course, we already have our Mega Evolution selected for the week. Eventually, I will bring Skippy back as a swift-swimming Mega Swampert, but that's going to be for a later week. This week, he is just on the team as a regular Swampert. He is a Lax Pokemon, which increases defense and lowers special defense, and he's holding Focus Sash because there's a chance he might drop to a single grass move. We don't want that. So for his moveset, we have Waterfall, which is good stab, and on the rare off chance that he manages to outspeed something, he might make it flinch. But either way, it's a physical type water move, which is very good. He's trained for physical attack anyway. And for more speed control, in addition to the Rock Tomb, in addition to the Low Sweep, we have Bulldoze on Skippy. Anything it hits, of course, other than a flying type or a levitate Pokemon, it will lower the speed stat by 1 stage. Now, since it does not work against flying types, and we imagine a flying type might try to get a hit in on him, he does have Avalanche. Avalanche is a move that, when you use it, it makes you go last, but if you take damage from the target that turn, Avalanche's power is doubled. I think it's 60 normally, and it goes up to 120 when you get hit by something. And of course, if we do get hit by a grass move, the Focus Sash will keep us in play, so the Avalanche is going to hit. And if it was a stab grass move, meaning the opponent was grass type, it's going to hit for super effective. Now, just to sort of play things out, stall things out, see what the opponent might go for, Skippy does have Protect. It's going to keep us safe for 1 turn, and see what possible strategies the opponent is going to try to throw at us. For Skippy's super training, it's pretty much like Machamp. Attack isn't fully maxed out, but it's pretty high, and we put a lot into both defenses. The physical defense is a lot better than special defense, so eventually he might be a better Pokemon to hold the Assault Vest in a future battle, but we'll see how that plays out at some other time. Now, the final Pokemon this week is going to be Bullwinkle the Tauros. You'll see Bullwinkle is a hardy Pokemon, which is a neutral nature, so nothing boosted, nothing lost. He has the Intimidate ability, which means I'm probably going to be sending him in the active slot when we start the rotation battle, unless I expect the opponent might have Defiant or Competitive. Either way, when I send him out, he's going to get the Intimidate drop, lower the attack stat, and it doesn't work if I send him in one of the back spots and then rotate him up. Intimidate doesn't kick in at that point. So he will be the lead most likely. He's holding Chesto Berry, because you'll see his last move is Rest. But starting with the top of the moveset, we do have Headbutt. It's actually, interestingly enough, a move he can't relearn from a previous generation, and it was back in Heart Gold, where in the Ilex Forest, there's a person that will repeatedly teach your Pokemon Headbutt. And it's definitely a good move for a Tauros. It has a chance to flinch, and Tauros is really fast, and it's a stab move as well. So that's definitely a move he's not going to be losing anytime soon. Iron Head is also good for some coverage, and it could also get a flinch. And Wild Charge is there to deal with any possible Primal Kyogre that we might encounter, or anything else that's weak to Electric. And as I said, Chesto Berry is going to work with his final move of Rest. If he gets low HP, we can get a quick Rest attack off, wake up immediately at full health once he eats the Chesto Berry. The Super Training is going to be maxed out speed, maxed out attack, a little bit into the special defense. Most of the Pokemon this week are built around, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of them are built around speed and either attack or special attack. So that is the team for this week's Pokemon Omega Ruby Rotation Battles. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you think of the Pokemon I'm using, and any suggestions for improved movesets or strategies that I might be able to use for future battles. With all that being said, we're going to end off this team builder and come back tomorrow for the actual rotation battles themselves in the free battle in battle spot in Omega Ruby. With that, I want to thank you everybody for checking out this team building video, and I'll catch you next time.